What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to be taking a look at Game 3 of Day 1 of the February Spring Championship Qualifier. And for this one, I decided to play Skip. And normally, Skip doesn't have any decisions to make on the first turn, but this is kind of an interesting shop. You could lock this because on turn 2, you could cast the Shrink Ray, buy and sell the Golden Chicken, and then buy and sell the Labyrinth Minotaur plus the Wizard's Familiar. So you'd be able to get a pretty reasonable amount of value for your turn 2 gold. I don't think that's going to quite cut it, and I would much rather just look for a questing unit or a vampire or a lucky on this turn, or a prized pig. Prized pig can go one of two ways with Skip. Either, and it's kind of a gamble, but there's such a decent shot that you are able to beat an opponent that has 2 units, and then you get to walk away with 2 extra gold on turn 3, and from that point, I'd be able to purchase the Vampire and the Wicked Witch. So that is why I'm locking both of those in the shop, but all we have to do is hope that my opponent has 2, basic level 2 units, 2 basic 2-cost units, and we basically already win the game. And I thought we had the win, so I was excited, and then I realized that they cast Witch's Brew on their bad Billy, and we did not get the win. So that was really unfortunate, and it's huge, because now you see, instead of being able to purchase 2 things here, again, I can only purchase 1 thing, and that would have been just a really huge boon for Skip, but unfortunately, we're not going to get there. I'm going to try, though. I'm going to try to get there, and I think the best thing that we can do at this point is to take this Great Stag. That might allow us to have the pig survive, and if the pig can survive this turn, well, 2 extra gold is still going to go a long way. Now, even if the pig doesn't survive, we can buy Vampire plus Wicked Witch plus Forbidden Fruit, or I should say use the Forbidden Fruit to buy Vampire plus Wicked Witch, but at least we didn't lose the last combat, but it's definitely, it would be awesome to be able to get that bonus gold. This combat, however, we're going to lose. So we lose the bonus gold. We're playing up against a Cursed King. If we had won the previous combat, that's how much these things snowball. If we had won the previous combat and kept the pig, then we would have won that combat too, because we would have just had so many more units. So we will have to purchase this Forbidden Fruit here. And now I'm just thinking, what's actually the most powerful thing that I can do this turn, this very second? And I think that it is going to be taking the donkey as well, and using the donkey to kind of help, it'll get buffed by the stag, and then using that to help protect the pig. And I think that we can potentially put something powerful together. We definitely lost a lot of our utility in not having the pig get econ for us in those first few turns, but it's still powerful. And now I'm debating, we could potentially lock this for Wicked Witch plus the goat. However, we're going to level up next turn. If we win with this pig, then we could potentially have 8 gold for next turn and try to spend that. Fortunately, my opponent takes out my stag, and we take a bunch of damage. We take 10 damage down to 22. Now, that's a Wonder Waddle, so you can't necessarily count Wonder Waddle as, what is normally going to happen, but obviously it stinks. Only having 6 gold to work with here really doesn't line up great with the board. We can buy the Good Witch plus the Kitty Cut Purse plus the Witch's Brew. It's not super exciting, so we have to figure out what we want to do right now. I would have loved to have just taken the Grim Soul and the Sheep and Wolf's Clothing if we had 8 gold, but we don't. So I do have to really consider all of our options here, and also consider what we might be doing next turn. Next turn, we're either going to have 7 gold, or we're going to have 9. I do think that I'm going to go with that first play that I called out, and the Witch's Brew is going to go on the Vampire. I think that this makes us the strongest for the turn, and then I lock, because regardless of what happens now, we can sell the Grim Soul, we can sell the Kitty Cut Purse to purchase both of these units if the pig does not survive. So that is the plan. If the pig doesn't survive again, which once the pig doesn't survive the first time, it just gets more and more difficult to have it survive after that. We are going to get a Humpty Dumpty off of the donkey, though I think we possibly had this one either way, but that feels nice. Now we're no longer the last place person in the lobby, and we actually get to pick up a Nutcracker here, which seems pretty sweet. We can pick up Nutcracker plus Sugar and Spice plus Grimsoul, and all of a sudden feeling kind of okay. I won't, don't want to take anything for granted, but we are playing up against a Share Bear, so Share Bear is typically strong, but doesn't seem like they're that strong this game. They're almost at the same health that we are, and yeah, I think that we can still turn this thing around yet. So let's see how we are able to do this combat. Grimsoul for right now is just pumping up the Vampire. It doesn't have an insane amount of utility, but scaling is good and will help to keep us on top here. We are going to get a little bit of action onto our Nutcracker, and that's actually a really good hit from the doubly to take out our 2/6 that we weren't really doing anything with. And then my opponent has a bunch of Black Cats and Creepers. We are going to get this Nutcracker off right now, so that is absolutely fabulous for us, and we're going to keep our prize pig, and we're going to slay with our Vampire twice from the Grimsoul. So this combat went perfectly. That was like a huge turnaround and a huge mental thing for me. Like I said out loud, I don't think that could have gone any better, And now we have to look at, okay, we could potentially grab a Polywoggle next turn. So I'm going to pick up the Polywoggle, and then I'm just going to take this dragon, and I might even cast I don't cast the Queen's Grace, but we're not going to see any more spells because we took the Fool's Gold. I think that Fool's Gold is a little bit tricky because obviously we're feeling pretty powerful now, so we kind of want XP. However, we don't need XP, and we can do some other good things with just having 4 extra gold per turn, and I wasn't particularly excited about the other treasures. Gloves of Thieving, when you're playing Skip, to steal things that are everybody else is just hitting 4.0, so it's very unlikely that we'd be able to steal a 4-drop. Maybe we'd be able to steal Lightning Dragons and stuff, though I guess we are also playing a Lightning Dragon, so that's kind of a complication. And then Ring of Rage I just didn't think was necessary at all for our comp. I really like putting Lightning Dragon in 1, so that way our Stag gets to attack immediately after that. And this Vampire is getting pretty big. It's able to kill this Frog Prince and survive. And unfortunately, we are going to lose our prized pig, but you know what? Small prized to pay. We are going to get that 4 gold from the Fool's Gold, so we'll still have 13 gold per turn. And we can start trying to use that to scale in other ways now that aren't XP. We will be able to run the Polywoggle this turn, and we'll take the Lightning Dragon, mostly because it's a pair, try to potentially grab some treasures off of that. And we actually do find the triple of Lightning Dragon, so we'll see what treasure this gives us, and that might help to inform a direction that we go in. Though honestly, all of these treasures aren't great. Ring of Rage is fine. I mean, it's just solid. It's a good treasure. But it doesn't really do too much for us, so a little bit silly. And then here I'm thinking, okay, we've got this prized pig that we're not playing. We've got donkey, and then we also have this good witch, but I'd rather grab this pair of stags here, and that's going to give us a little bit more power. There is a small chance that Grimsoul triggers onto Vampire, which would be a little bit annoying, but it's going to be 50-50. Not much that we can do other than just hope that works out. But I don't want to play down the Vampire. It's a pretty considerable portion of our stats, and I don't want to frontline the Vampire or backline the Grimsoul or anything like that. I want to get this Nutcracker supported, and this does land on the Polywoggle and gives us a Hercules. So better lucky than good. Obviously, you can't control getting the Hercules, but quite fantastic for us. And it is even going to get its first hit against my opponent. And it only has to hit, well, it was hitting for 26 because it got pumped up by the stag when it was a polywoggle. Or maybe it got pumped up by the stag after. I don't remember the order of that. But either way, it's getting +3 attack from the Ring of Rage. So if we can just find a way to give this Hercules a little bit of attack, it only has to get in 3 times. So I'm kind of interested in putting it behind the stag in some capacity, and putting both stags in front of it even, just to make sure that it is going to be able to slay. So maybe I could move the Hercules over 1 so that it is in slot 6 and is getting support from both of the stags. I also see another polywoggle right here, which definitely brings some temptation for it as well, but I'm going to roll past that and roll into Shoulder Fairies. And Shoulder Fairies is actually quite good here. It's the Nutcracker and the Hercules are both competing to be our good unit, but the Hercules, when that triples, is going to be having 40 health. So that is the idea. Oh, and interestingly, it does look like I move Hercules into the front. I didn't remember that part, but I guess I just decided that making sure that Hercules gets to attack is better than leaving it in the back line, and we'll see how that works out for us. It means that now more stuff can attack into it, like if these wombats can attack into it, and well, now they have to, and whatever spawns from the wombats also has to attack into it unless we killed it with that vampire. So Hercules is almost done. Actually, Hercules is going to get completed. So just like Nutcracker, pretty quick Hercules completion. We'll toss the helm. Probably still want to hang on to this Fool's Gold, but feeling pretty good. And I don't think there's any reason to go for the Pandora's box. I think we just take Ivory out and we be content with that. It's kind of a weird comp that we are putting together here. We're just going like Shoulder Fairies good stuff. It's nothing super, nothing super spicy right now. But I do think that we probably want to just take these owls, and that scales everything, which also means it's scaling the Shoulder Fairies, and I think that that's going to be good enough. Now, it does, and now I'm kind of remembering too, one of the reasons that I put that Hercules in the front spot was because we also had the helm, so that was a really strong consideration for me, and the helm then was also pumping the Shoulder Fairies, so it was doing double duty in that regard as well. I'll roll for a little bit and then going to pick up a Grim Soul right at the end of this combat. And I don't know if we're going to get another treasure that's good for us. Horn of Olympus actually seems like it could work, though. I'm going to grab the Horn of Olympus, and I think I'm going to replace the Fool's Gold. Maybe I'll replace the Ring of Rage, but either way, I want access to both of them right now. And that'll give me the Fool's Gold going into next turn, and will give me also Ring of Rage for this combat. So that is kind of the idea with that one. But Hercules definitely giving us a really, really strong board right now, and we're scaling the Vampire. So we're scaling both. Well, we're not scaling the Hercules, but it's just an insanely large unit. And now we have to decide what we are getting rid of. And so part of what I was thinking here is we are going to have potential access to getting into this Jormungand comp for in a pretty easy way, because we're skip, so we're up XP on the rest of the lobby, and I just think that this horn is going to do a good job in helping us get there, and we actually don't really need spells if that is the route that we want to go. It's a little bit silly to pick up this horn right now because it doesn't help us this turn, but it is going to give us quite a strong board for this turn, and oh, I guess we are scaling the Hercules too. Yeah. We've got the Ivory Owl scaling the Hercules. So definitely kind of a weird board. What I'm considering there is, do I want to play the second Lightning Dragon so that it gets the +2/+2 from the Owls? So that is something that you really have to consider right now. Do I need these Grim Souls? Do I want the Grim Souls scaling? Do I want these Lightning Dragons scaling? one of the interesting things about Jormungandr is you tend to have more than 7 units, which is why I think Mordred is such a great hero on Jormungandr. Now, Sadrak, also quite good, but the real way to, if you could play an additional unit, you could certainly get an advantage because a lot of times you have all of these extra units. Plus, you've got the Riverwash Mermaid and the Baba Yagas at some point eventually. Maybe we can pick up some of those. An interesting board here from Trophy Hunter, but we are just going to be bigger. I don't think we're going to get a kill on them, though. It's going to be close. No, it's not quite going to get there. But we are going to get the win just because our Jormungandr is so large that we're going to be able to survive it here. But that is definitely somebody to consider and be fearful of in the future. Now we're playing up against the Ghost, though. I really, really need to find Riverwash Mermaids and Baba Yagas ASAP. And there's a Baba Yaga, so that is a really sweet one. And now you can see, like, at this point, I can't really fit the Hercules on the board, which means I also can't really play the Shoulder Fairies, but I find another Jormungandr, so that's pretty fantastic. So I'm going to sell this Golden Chicken and pick up Jormungandr, and now we are looking for just ways to, like, how can we get everything in that we want to play on this board, and what do we even want to play? And it's important because whatever we play is going to get +2/+2 from the Owls. I don't have any scaling other than Vampire on my units, but Ivory Owls is going to mean that whatever I choose to play this turn is going to scale a little bit. So definitely some decisions to be made, and I decided that I don't want to scale the Vampire. That's an interesting choice. No, I'm moving everything all around. I don't know if there's a right answer. You can let me know what you would have played this turn, and honestly, let me know what you'd play like every turn henceforth. I think that my decisions in the shop are like pretty straightforward, but what you actually put on the battlefield, as crazy as that is potentially the more compelling or like difficult decision, which normally that part's pretty straightforward. You just play your 7 best units, but the synergies matter so much more with this Jormungandr, and eventually we're going to want to try to get like a Riverwash Mermaid in here, make use of the Lightning Dragon, or we're just going to toss the Lightning Dragon, which means that we don't need to scale it. So we kind of have to figure that out soon too. Are we scaling Lightning Dragon, or is it not making this final comp? And which of those two things is it going to be? So this is basically the put up or shut up turn for Lightning Dragon to really matter, and we find another one even, but I'm gonna roll on past that and see if we can't find another Jormungandr, Grimsoul, Baba Yaga. Those are the main considerations, and we find Riverwash Mermaid and we find the Grimsoul. So let's go ahead and triple that Jormungandr, and Singing Sword is sweet, but Phoenix Feather can really help us in a lot of situations here. I'll take the Fool's Gold out of here, and then I've got to sell 2 things to pick up this Riverwash Mermaid. Shoulder Fairies, once we get to this point in the comp, it's really tough to make Shoulder Fairies work because it means we also have to be playing that Hercules. So I think that one's a pretty safe cut, though I might actually want to play this Hercules later on. So I'm going to decide to sell the Nyan Sea Terror. I think that our treasures are good enough, and I don't really need to spend the gold to pick up the Nyan Sea Terror. Obviously, Evil Eye would be really good. Mimic Chest would be really good, but either way, I'm tossing a treasure that I actually really like. So I'm going to get rid of the Nyan Sea Terror, pick up the Riverwash Mermaid. Now I've got another decision to make. Do I play some Lightning Dragons? And again, honestly, can go either way. So yeah, just really tough decisions to be made here, but I think that we sold the right things. Did we play the right things? Well, time to find out. Opponent is going to Pigomorph my bigger Lightning Dragon, and then my other Lightning Dragon is going to fail to slay, but Vampire gets in there and slays, which is really nice. Just hopefully Medusa doesn't hit Jormungandr. Whew, it doesn't. So we win this combat basically barring more scam from my opponent, because Jormungandr is going to be able to take out almost everything they have going on, and then we also have a Phoenix Feather for this Jormungand. So as long as Jormungand doesn't attack into a rotten apple tree, then we should be pretty good. So let's see what the pumpkin spawns. Nothing. Okay, we're good. So that's a win. We're going to hit my opponent for 9 here, down to 6, and then you got to be feeling pretty good. This was like the only player that gave us a little bit of trouble. They hit us for 10 from 32 down to 22, and then we haven't lost since. So a pretty good skip game, all things considered. And yeah, stuff is looking quite good now. So we are going to want to find potentially like some more Baba Yagas. I do consider just taking the Ride of the Valkyrie, just because giving the dragons a little bit more of a chance to slay could be the difference in the fight. If the dragons can get those initial slays off, that is absolutely huge for them. So I do want to consider that, but I'd really, really love to find some Baba Yagas. That is my main consideration. Lancelot, probably too late in the game to pick that one up. When I find another Ride of the Valkyrie, I say, you know what, it's time. We do find a Pigomorph right after that, which probably I would have rather played, but I'm just going to lock it for the next combat, and I think that that is fair. So Ride of the Valkyrie, hopefully that will allow these dragons to be able to slay. One thing that I do notice at the very end here is that Vampire and Jormungand have the same attack. And that is really scary because I want to make sure that Jormungand is what gets the Phoenix Feather. So we take care of that, then I purchase another unit there right before the shop ends. And my opponent is also on Jormungand now, but we are bigger, but they've got a bunch of rotten apple trees. So we are going to respawn the Jormungand after it deals with the rotten apple tree, and then interestingly it grows after that, which is enough to allow it to take out the other apple tree, but we lose to my opponent's backline Jormungands. We just, basically got scammed by those Applewoods, and that was enough to have us lose. So I'm going to take the Pigomorph. That gives us a little bit more stats this turn. Surprisingly, the Wonder Waddle actually lost to the Ghost, and the Curse King is actually our finals opponent. And again, there's a lot of decisions to be made. We're basically done buying units. Like, maybe I could buy this Grimsoul. I don't think that's even the most important thing right now. I am thinking about, is there a way that we can try to play around these apple trees? Because this comp is all about making one huge unit. And if that one huge unit just loses 1,000 health by attacking wrong, it's pretty awkward. So I am kind of coming up with a plan here. I do a little bit of rolling, decide against the Grimsoul, and the Lightning Dragon isn't the best either. Interestingly, the Lightning Dragon is okay if they both attack a Jormungand, because then we've got enough stats to kill it. But right now, 35 isn't enough for a Lightning Dragon to even get a kill. So I'm not sure that I want to be playing Lightning Dragon. And basically what I come up with here is I'm just going to put Jormungand last. And this can go one of two ways. It either basically guarantees that it attacks into the... So yeah, making some other decisions here too. But I am going to decide to play the Grimsouls at the last second instead of the Lightning Dragon. Sorry, a lot to talk about. So the Jormungand is now either guaranteed to attack into the Rotten Applewood, or it's going to totally avoid it. Luckily, we do have that Phoenix Feather, so that's going to buy us some time. And now Hercules, that is a unit that we haven't played in like 5 turns, is actually going to do incredible work for us attacking into an apple tree and winning us this fight. And I think winning us this game. Nice. Sweet. So a lot of really, really interesting stuff going on this game. I thought this was a really, really sweet game and a really, really cool finals too, where basically, I mean, you look at the board that we played this turn. Yeah, I mean, a lot of decisions being made in the last second. This was a hard finals, and it definitely could have still gone either way. I guess let's look at the... Oh, I don't have the tracker up. Apologies for that. But yeah, definitely all worked out for us and was really interesting. But we didn't play this Hercules for like 5 turns or something. Yeah, we cut it around here, and then we play the Ghost. we play the Wonder Waddle, we play the Cursed King, and we play the Cursed King. Ghost, Wonder Waddle, Cursed King. So it sat on the bench for 3 turns, but still, like, that is just, I think, pretty cool in terms of, like, dynamic gameplay. And this was a really good skip game, all things considered. I do think that Slay can be really good on skip. I've had some commenters point that out before in the past, and it definitely worked out well for us this game. Kind of pivoting once we saw the horn as well, and obviously the early Ivory Owl was incredibly lucky off that Hercules from the Polywoggle. So really good stuff there, but also pressing our advantage in different ways, like using the Polywoggle Grim Soul and building that board in a neat way. But that is going to be it for me today for this one. I will be back later today with Game 4, and honestly, this is one thing I didn't talk about, but like, we needed this win. Over the first 2 games, I got 4th and then 8th, so I had 7 points from the first 2 rounds. This gave me 10 points, so after 3 rounds, I had 17. You need 40 points from 6 rounds to qualify for day 2. So I'm still a little bit behind after this game, but this is potentially what can allow you to build that momentum and get back into it. So we'll see what I'm able to put together in these last games of day 1 coming up, and that's going to be it for me today, or for this video rather. I'll have another one in 12 hours. But thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.